At it again, and we have another story of the left going in the wrong direction. All right. Now, one of the questions that I have been asking is, who's going to run for the left in 24? Right? I don't think it's Joe. Just watching what's going on currently. Obviously with the country, but then also, the health stuff. So one of the names that has been popping up is Gavin. But lately, it seems Gavin hasn't been able to keep people in California. People have been leaving en masse, and we have yet another celebrity coming out and telling the truth, which is what we're going to be checking out today. Make sure you guys hit that like button. And if you are not subscribed to the channel already, hit that subscribe button as well and join the family. And with all of that being said, let's just jump straight into it. Let's dive in.
Mark Wahlberg joins the growing list of celebrities who have left Los Angeles in recent years, including Katy Perry, Matthew McConaughey, and Chris Hemsworth. Now, Wahlberg and his family will call Nevada home. Here's why.
Moved to California many years ago to pursue acting, and I've only made a couple of movies in the entire time that I was there. So to be able to give my kids a better life and follow and pursue their dreams, whether it be my daughter as an equestrian, my son as a basketball player, my youngest son as a golfer, this made a lot more sense for us.
To give my kids a better life, he said, Pete.
Yeah, that's exactly. Hollywood, it's like education. The higher education has a cartel. They defend themselves. They want to be the gatekeepers. Same thing with Hollywood. It's been the gatekeeper and the cartel. You had to go there in order to participate. That's all changed. You can create content, eminent content from anywhere, which means you get to choose your quality of life and where you want to be. And with what Democrats and Gavin Newsom have done to California, why would you want to be there if you don't have to be there with a bunch of other smug, self-important people? Move where you want to be for a quality of life and create content. That's where we live in a whole new world when it comes to media these days.
That's right. And policies, Jackie, economic policies have real economic impacts.
Oh, yeah.
There's a reason why these guys are moving outside of Las Vegas, where the attraction of the policies there are very important and appealing to Mark Wahlberg. He's talked about building a big studio there, to your point, creating his content, and also a factory for a shoe company that he's launched. The reality is, for an entrepreneur, for anyone with any type of economic aspirations, Nevada is the place to be over California.
Oh, absolutely. And what's brilliant about it is that it's so close. If he has to go there, he just hops a plane. He can do a day trip or whatever he wants to do. But having said that, also Nevada happens to be one of those states without a state personal income tax, right? We talk about Florida all the time, but there's that aspect of it. So I'm not surprised that he wants to start all of.
Speaking of income tax, I don't know the validity to this. You guys can let me know in the comment section, but I remember yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I was scrolling somewhere. It was probably on social media. So I don't think I watched the video on it, but there was something that I remember seeing, and it was talking about how California was trying to pass a bill that would allow them, maybe it was a video, but anyway, that would allow them to tax, its citizens up to 10 years after they have left the state. Up to 10 years. So you could be a California resident and say, man, Gavin is driving this thing into the dumps, which he obviously is right now. You could leave the state, go to another state, go to Texas, right? And for up to 10 years, California could come to you and get tax money from you, which is just absolutely crazy. And, if that is true, which I don't know if it is with 100%, if that is true, we know why they're trying to do stuff like that, because they see people are leaving. So as an incentive to keep people in that state, pass the bill. If people know they're just going to get taxed anyway for the next 10 years, they're less likely to leave. Absolutely insane. If that is true, y'all let me know in the comment section, please.
These ventures and whatnot, and then you add the quality of life into it, and it makes total sense. But these are celebrities, these are people who are fleeing policies that are not just obviously hurting them, but hurting everybody else, and they're sort of speaking up for everyone in the community when they make a statement like this. So I'm glad that they're doing it, and I'm glad that they're showing everybody that's okay. We saw it during the pandemic, we've seen it after, and there are consequences to these policies. Gavin Newsom, yes.
Yeah, and your perspective, Kennedy, because you have such a Southern California presence as well as Oregon, where we've seen that sort of the opposite magnetism effect. Obviously, New York as well.
Yeah, go Bruins, 4's up. What, you're 6-0 UCLA Bruins? I'll take it. Yeah, because if people like Mark Wahlberg, they're lucky because they can move to a different state. They've got the mobility. There are a lot of people who are stuck in California who can't move. They don't have the money to fight for the U-Hauls, which are few and far between, to get out of the state. But yeah, it used to be a place where the industry was concentrated. And to your point, it's now diffuse. It's not necessarily concentrated in one place. There's still a lot of great people in California who would love to live the California dream. It is an absolute nightmare now. I mean, everything from the bullet train to sanctioning doctors who have conversations that are non-traditional with their patients. They are now being censured by the California Medical Board if they dare have these conversations. And that is the overbearing nanny state. And they're lucky they got out.
Speaking of that, speaking of doctors, I got a video for y'all. Hold on. Let me pull this video up. Check this out.
All right. Meanwhile, California lawmakers recently approving a bill to punish doctors who spread what they call false information about and treatments.
So now, obviously, that's only allegedly one thing, you know, the beer bug, misinformation. But then also, who decides what is misinformation? Because as we have seen, one thing is determined as misinformation. That is determined as misinformation. 8 months later, oh, wait a minute, that was actually the truth. So why was it labeled misinformation 8 months ago? You know, so this whole misinformation, disinformation, is total BS. It's hogwash. It really is. It really is. It's just another tactic to silence people. Oh, misinformation. And now the state and Gavin are trying to silence doctors. The very folks that say, believe in the science, are trying to tell doctors, hey, you can't say that. And you know, obviously, if they do it with one thing, this is probably just a test, like PayPal just tried to do, right? PayPal just tried to fine folks up to $2,500 for misinformation. Oh, and then once they got caught and there was an outrage, oh, well, that was a mistake. That wasn't a mistake. You know what you put on there. There's a giant board of people that look all of this stuff over. I'm sure you have lawyers that you consult with. You wanted to test it to see if they could get away with it, right? It's the same thing what's going on in California right now. They just want to put that out there just to see what people say. And honestly, I'm kind of shocked that more people haven't spoken out. Maybe I missed it. Maybe more people have spoken out against this type of thing. You know, silencing doctors. This is their job, to question things, to research things. Wow. Anyway, let's continue on with this video here.
The thing about the pandemic, people went to other parts of the country and went, oh, there's so much here. There's so much to love. What am I doing on the coast?
Right.
Facts.
And there, the political elites, Kaylee, just see that dumpster fire behind them. They don't care because all they see are voters and their own political aspirations in the future. But to Kennedy's point, what is left behind, what is in rubble, are those minority communities, the vulnerable, those disadvantaged who can't rise up out of that. They are stuck there. I see it a lot actually in California in the Bay, where these homes that are so deeply steeped in equity, but the homeowners don't have the capital to renovate, to upkeep. So they literally look terrible, these big homes like in the Bay, because they're simply unable to afford to do anything other than stay there. They're paralyzed. And people like Governor Gavin Newsom doesn't seem to care.
Totally. You're overtaxed. You get no return on your investment. I mean, you go in the streets and you get mugged because crime is just horrible. You get COVID lockdowns, your church shut down, your place of business shut down. It's why you've seen the top states that you've moved to are Florida, Texas, North Carolina. The ones that have been moved away from are California, New York, Illinois. Do they have a commonality? Yes, the commonality is blue. You know, we talk about
the top 3 states people move away from. And I don't blame anybody for any 3 of them. Just let me tell you something. Those same policies that you were voting for in those states, okay, do not take them to the rest of this country. All right? You saw what happened in your last state. Make the change, all right? Make the change. But yeah, they definitely have something in common. Obviously, Illinois, January 1st is about to turn into the purge. I mean, I don't know how that is even being allowed to happen. Woo! Are things about to get crazy in Illinois? Obviously, we talked about California, so I don't need to touch on that again. And then, of course, we know what's going on in New York. My goodness, man, oh man, do they have something in common? Hey, and listen, I told y'all, don't be surprised when someone from the right wins somewhere you did not expect it, okay? So remember, I told you. I'm telling you. As Joe would say, the proof is in the eating, okay?
Fund the police. This is defunding liberalism, and I love it. People are marching with their feet. I'm not giving my tax dollars here. Defund liberalism, fund conservatism. Well done.
And we saw a lot of the congressional seats change, right, as those populations changed, and it's just going to.
Also, I think I saw, what was it, Oregon? I think it was Oregon. Eastern Oregon, like the whole eastern side of the state, forced a vote to become a part of Idaho, I believe it is. Because of Portland. Because you have these major big cities, right? These big liberal cities that basically control the entire state because their population is so dense within those big cities that the surrounding places, their voices are just drowned out, right? And right now, Eastern Oregon is just like, nah, we're tired of this mess. You can have Portland, you can have, some of these other counties that are over there. We chucking up the deuces. We out. I doubt that they'll be able to do it because obviously it has to pass a vote. Throughout the entire state, I believe. I could be wrong. If anybody knows, let me know in the comment section. But I believe the entire state has to vote on it, which is just crazy to me. Like, why is an entire state voting on what a few counties are doing? Like, the counties are obviously unhappy because their voices aren't being heard. So, of course, the voices are going to get drowned out with an entire state vote. So, I think that is kind of bogus, but, hey, who am I? I'm just a guy who makes YouTube videos from time to time. But, I wouldn't be surprised if we started seeing that a bit more in some other states, where they have these big cities that basically control the entire state or have major control over the entire state. And those big cities are liberal, but everywhere else around them is right-leaning, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. But what do you guys think about all of that? And also, back to the main question of this video, who is going to run for the left in 24? Gavin was the big front runner for a while, but as you are seeing, people, including celebrities, more and more are coming out and are like, no, we're not staying there. Our quality of life is trash, and these are millionaires. So imagine what it's like for the regular citizen, right? That doesn't have millions of dollars in their bank accounts. These are celebrities with millions. They can afford to pay exorbitant taxes. They can afford to do whatever it is that they want, go on vacations whenever they want. And even they're like, nope, we are done with California. What is Gavin going to do? How will he spin this? Or is his political career just over? Or at least a run for president. And if that is the case, then who takes his place as the front runner? Kamala? Buttigieg? AOC? Now, if you haven't seen the video from yesterday with AOC, oh man, yeah. I think her political career is done for. All right. And go check out that video if you want to know exactly why. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.